For our faculty speaker, we are privileged today to have Mr. David Rops. Dave has been a leader in our math department for almost 10 years. He's a stalwart coach, colleague, and a phenomenal teacher. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Rops to the lectern.
Dr. Kimball, Dr. Sturm, brilliant colleagues, proud parents, and you, the graduates. Thank you for granting me the honor of speaking at today's graduation ceremony. When Dr. Sturm first asked me to speak at graduation, I was honored, surprised, and a little bit scared. To be clear, just being asked is the honor. The honor isn't actually standing here talking. Why then would I say yes to doing this? I've been teaching for 30 years. I've heard at least 30 graduation speeches. What do I have to offer? As my world is filled with X's and Y's, not words and eloquence. Why not ask Mr. Crane again? Granted, I have the better hairdo, but that man, he can carry a crowd. Me, I carry a calculator. What can I offer? I think of your parents, who through the years, most have heard me via YouTube from your laptop going on and on about quadratic functions or some other mathematical concept. So why would they want to hear from me, a math teacher? And then I thought, it's not for them. It's rather for you, the graduates. So why would I take this risk, take this challenge, take this opportunity to speak at your graduation? I thought, if I don't do this, I'll look back 20 years from now and say, I wish I would have. I'd wish I would have spoken at your graduation. You see, at my own high school graduation, I promised myself to live a life with no regrets. And that is what I'm doing here today. So I overcame my hesitation, looked past my fear, and said, yes, I'll do it. So here I am. A little bit about me. I grew up on a small pig farm in rural Ontario, Canada. The nearest town was a 15-minute drive away with a population of 2,700 people. At that time, I thought living a life with no regrets was easy. It was to take calculated risks and try as many fun things as I could. So, at the end of high school, I created a dream list, a list of 25 things that I want to do in my life. I still have it. It lives next to my bed in my nightstand. Some of the dreams on that list I've been able to check off, such as scuba diving, going on safari, climbing a mountain. Number 3 on the list says, I want to travel the world. So at the age of 23, I was offered a teaching job in Kuala Lumpur. After I said yes to the job, I then went to the bookshelf, pulled out an atlas, because there was no internet at that time, to find out exactly where Kuala Lumpur was. I was going to take this risk, seize this opportunity, push myself far outside my comfort zone to challenge myself to live a life of no regrets. When I was in Malaysia, my world was filled with firsts. First time flying internationally, first time eating Indian food, first time walking through the rainforest. I was becoming very good at taking calculated risks of living a life with no regrets. I remember one night in a popular bar, there was a cover band playing music that you would refer to as classic rock. We just called it rock back then. But my friend Mike knew I had always wanted to be part of a rock and roll band. And during the band's intermission, he struck up a conversation with musicians and told them I was a lead singer in a band in Canada and that I missed singing on stage, which is a bold-faced lie. The band, however, invited me to sing a song live on stage with them for the full bar. I looked at Mike with shaking knees, took the stage, grabbed the microphone, and sang. I sang with all my heart. It was amazing. When I think about it still, I smile. I took the risk. I seized the opportunity. I overcame my fears. I was living a life of no regrets. To live a life of no regrets, we have to be risk takers. In the math classroom, we practice risk-taking on a low-stakes level. Virtually every day when you come to any math class at ISP, you are collectively asked to go to the whiteboard and solve a challenging problem. You do this in the open where all your classmates can see your thinking and see your work. You've all learned to take this risk. I believe in the idea that taking the chance, being vulnerable, leads to opportunities to grow and become your best self. Delivering this speech here today is a risk for me. I know I'm a person who, when speaking, can stammer or get stuck on sounds and words, and this only gets exacerbated when I'm nervous or speaking in front of a large audience. But I'm still standing here, and when I finish, I will have grown from the experience. Along with taking risks, you must also seize opportunities that come your way when living a life of no regrets. I think about the members of this graduating class who are already doing this, seizing opportunities. Some of you are learning to fly airplanes, while some of you have had the life-changing experience of jumping out of airplanes. Some have reached out and started a relationship with video game developers, while others are dancing. But living life with no regrets doesn't have to just mean seizing opportunities for yourself. It can also mean taking the opportunities to help and support each other. This could be consistently seizing opportunities to give unwavering support to a women's shelter or the person who organizes the fun for your friends. It could be as simple as giving your mom or dad a hug because they need it, and they will need it in the days ahead. Small, kind gestures can go a long way in helping each other. Living with no regrets means you must take risks to grow outside your comfort zone, and you'll need to seize the opportunities that come your way. But life is hard, and challenges beyond our control can change our paths. How we deal with the challenges will define how we live our life with no regrets. It could be caring for an ill parent or watching a loved one pass away. The challenge could be living with your own physical or mental illness or that of a loved one. The challenge could be to just walk around the block. The challenges of life will change, but they will continually come. How you face these challenges will help define who you are. When you are true and kind to yourself and face the challenges honestly and as well as you are able, then you are living a life with no regrets. I also realize that living a life with no regrets is a very personal quest. Each and every one of us has to be true to ourselves and decide what this means for them. This is your bar. This is not your parents' bar. It's not your teacher's bar. It's yours. You get to set it for yourself. You get to decide how to live with no regrets. It will look different for all of us. For example, some of you will continue to play sports and participate in competitions at elite levels, giving it your all, this being your commitment to a life of no regrets. While others here today, living with no regrets means making it to this graduation. The very act of being present today is your personal risk-taking. Just sitting here is you living with no regrets. Thank you for being with us here today. For others here today, it's the piano recital, the speech given, or in a few moments, you standing right over there, front and center, on this stage, hearing your name proudly called for your family and friends to witness this milestone of graduation. Every time we take these risks and challenges and challenge ourselves, we experience personal growth, even if the outcome is not what we hoped. As I've gotten older, I realized that early in this journey for me, living a life of no regrets was a fun, one-dimensional, adventure-seeking activity list. I cherished all the things I've done, and I'm so glad I did them because I grew so much in the process. But it wasn't until I was older that I took my biggest and most important risk. I got married and became a father. Not only did I have my students, colleagues, friends, and family, but I was adding a new family into my life and into the world. For me, family changed everything. The risk of being vulnerable and offering myself unconditionally both in giving and in receiving love was bigger and more meaningful than any risk I'd ever taken before. Building loving relationships with the people in our lives is the most important aspect to living a life with no regrets. This is my challenge now, this challenge has made all the difference to who I am. In the end, it will be my relationships with the people in my world that will define living a life with no regrets. So, when Dr. Sturm asked me to speak today, why did I say yes? Why did I decide to finally stand here and deliver this speech? It was for you, the graduates sitting here. I seized this last opportunity to take the risk and challenge myself to contribute to our relationship one last time, hoping to add one more thread to the strings that already connect us. Now I challenge you all to take risks, embrace challenges, and seize opportunities that come your way. But most importantly, take the risk to love and be loved, with the goal to live your lives with no regrets. Thank you.